guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Mariah. If you're not, hey. Today we're doing a get ready with me / get to know me Q&A. I told you guys to ask me questions on Instagram and you did, and I also had to get ready for a brand dinner tonight with Kayali, so I was thinking, why don't we just mesh the two, do a get ready with me and kind of like a get to know me Q&A. I also think I'm gonna take you guys to the dinner with me. I think that could be fun after obviously we get ready together. So hi, if you're new to my channel, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, let's get right into the video. Okay, I'm kind of on a time crunch because I wanted to be done with my hair and makeup by 3 p.m. and it's currently 2:40. I feel like I should be able to get my makeup done in about 20 minutes, but I want to make sure it looks good. But let's get into these questions, starting with how have I been feeling? I know this is in direct correlation to like how I've been dealing with like radiation and my health and everything. I have been feeling very, very good. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this week I've started experiencing symptoms of going through radiation. So like extreme fatigue, having some trouble swallowing and like digesting food. But I also feel like they prepared me for that and they let me know that that was gonna be one of the side effects. Like nothing has happened, or I haven't really felt anything that they haven't prepared me for. So I feel really good. I had my check-in with my doctor today. I'm supposed to meet with the doctor weekly every Thursday. Today is Thursday, so I met with the doctor and he was just basically like, you look good, your vitals are all very good, like is your mental health good? And I was like, surprisingly, I feel great. So everything is going very smoothly. I'm on treatment 17 out of 32, I think is what today was. So we're more than halfway done, which I can't believe. Like it's going by so quickly. I feel like all of this happened extremely fast, but it's like this all started in November and we're coming up on mid-February and it's almost about to be over, thank God. So I feel really, really good. Thank you for asking. I'm trying to figure out what foundation I want to use. I'm very pale, but I feel like House Labs has just been holding me down recently. Either House Labs, Estee Lauder, Kat Von D, or Fenty. I know that's a lot of options, but those are like my 4 go-to. I think I'm gonna go with House Labs today. I'm in the shade 340 medium cool. Also, if you can hear them doing the trash cans outside of my apartment, please ignore it. They do this way more often than I would like them to do it. The next question I got is, what is my favorite AKA memory? So if you guys don't know, I was initiated into Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated in the fall of 2021. My mom is an AKA, my aunt is an AKA, me and my cousin came in together, so I am a legacy. And I'm trying to think, what has been my favorite memory? I think my favorite memory has honestly been conference. Like my first ever conference that I went to. I actually vlogged it here on YouTube. If you guys haven't seen that video, you should go back and watch it, but I vlogged it. It was in 2022 in Wisconsin, I want to say. Yeah, it was in Wisconsin, and I got to meet a lot of you guys because I had been doing content for like a little under or over a year at that point, and I was making AKA videos pretty frequently. So when I came to conference, I kind of expected to like meet a few of you. I met a ton of you. And I was just like, oh, like I didn't realize that, you know, like when you see a number and you realize that you have like 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers, but then you go out in public and it's like, oh my God, I watch your videos. I hadn't experienced that yet to that extent. And even now, like every now and then someone will say that to me, but 9 times out of 10, it's like at an AKA event, and like, it just never gets old, to be honest, to be like connecting with people that have similar interest in you and them being able to see themselves in you, and like people coming up to me and asking about my mom and just like what I was going through at the time and filming content, and so excited. At the time I was getting ready to move and everybody was like, OMG, you're moving. Like it was really fun, honestly. I need to make sure I'm getting my neck because my dress is like very low cut, so everything needs to blend. Now, if we're talking about my favorite AKA memory with my line sisters, I feel like it's gonna be one of the many nights that we went out that first summer after we got initiated. And the thing is, we didn't even go out like as a line because my line has 28 women on it, but like I have a select group of my line sisters that I'm very, very close with, and we would just go out like for no reason, no destination, just kind of like, hey, do you want to meet up and get drinks, or do you want to, you know, do what girls do? And they always turned out to be the most fun nights ever. And I honestly feel like they put me onto a lot of spots in Indy. Like I had just turned 21 the year that we had been initiated, so I hadn't even really been outside like that up until that summer before. So I feel like they put me onto a lot of lounges and bars and clubs in Indianapolis that I never had even like noticed were even there. But I would definitely say like going out with my line sisters, that was a fun time. Now I got a few questions asking me about my move from Indianapolis to California, so I'm gonna answer all of them like in one fell swoop. So the question is, being from Indy, what big transition did you have to make moving to Cali? Okay, moving to Cali and moving to the Bay Area, I feel like are two very different things. Moving to Cali, I would say being away from my family, like this is the first time I've ever not had any kind of family around me at all. My closest family to me is probably in Kansas, or I do have an uncle in LA, but I don't see him that often. But this is the first time I've ever been completely on my own, had to make new friends from scratch. Like I do not have a single person that lives out here in the Bay that I knew before I moved out here. So I feel like the big transition for me was getting used to being alone. I feel like a lot of people say, oh, I'm used to being alone, or I can be alone, but till you're forced to be alone, like doing it by choice and being forced to are two completely different things. Like there are some days being in Cali where obviously I live with my boyfriend. I moved out here to be with my boyfriend. He is the only person I talk to. Like doing content full time and this being my job, I don't really have any coworkers, definitely not in-person coworkers, unless I'm going to the grocery store or the mall or somewhere where I have to see people. I don't have any social interaction outside of him. Like, and he's at work all day. He has friends, he has his community, his golf buddies, his college buddies are out here. So like most of the time I am alone. And like I said, people always talk about this when you're moving away from your hometown, like being used to being alone, but doing it, saying it, experiencing it are all very different. Now, in terms of living in the Bay, the biggest transition that I had to deal with was the lack of Black people. I don't want to say the lack of diversity, because if you look up the Bay and like the San Francisco area, this is one of the most diverse areas in the country. It is very, 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 very diverse. You will see all kinds of ethnicities here, people from all over the country, people from all over the world. They come out here. What I will say is if you look up Bay Area Black people, there are none. And I'm not just saying that as like an exaggeration. I'm not saying that as like a hee hee ha ha, oh, there's no Black people here. I mean, I live in a city that is extremely big. There's a lot of freaking people out here. We have one Black beauty supply store. We have one Black soul food restaurant. There are no Juneteenth events. There are no MLK events. Like, there is none of that. And maybe I'm just speaking like, if you live in Oakland, you got it. You live in Oakland, you got it. I live in San Jose. So San Jose is still a big city. I think San Jose is bigger than Oakland. I'm not really sure. I know it's definitely bigger than San Francisco. San Francisco is a very, very small but densely populated city. I haven't found at least that there is anything for Black people out here. Even when I moved out here and thought about joining an AKA chapter out here, even the Greek life is different. Like the chapters are a lot smaller. They do a lot less events. Regional conference is a lot smaller. Like it's just not as big of a deal. Black community I found outside of Oakland is like non-existent in my opinion. And you know what's so crazy? If you ask anybody who is from the Bay that is Black, they'll say like this is the most diverse place on the planet. They love it, da 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 da. If you ask anybody who is a transplant out here to the Bay and has lived other places and like experienced Black culture to the fullest, they're like, oh, there's no Black people out here. There's nothing to do for Black people, and they do not cater to us at all, which is fine. Like a lot of people don't care for that kind of stuff. Me having like recently joined AKA and gotten back into, because I went to like a white high school, I went to a white college, I went to a white grad school. I have been around a lot of white people in my past, but I have purposely been trying to cultivate Black friendships, Black mentors, Black like coworkers, working with people in the content creative field who are Black, like spending the Black dollar. And out here it's just like non-existent. It's non-existent. So I feel like the biggest thing about living in California has been getting used to being away from my family. But I feel like the biggest thing about living in the Bay has been getting used to not seeing Black people. When I see a Black person out here, especially a Black woman, my jaw hits the floor. Like it's like, where do you live? Where are you going? Because I kind of want to go with you. Like, you want to hang out with me right now? Are you available? The next question is, what are some of my favorite things in Cali compared to Indiana? I love the weather. Like I am a beach girl. I love, 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 love the beach. If you're an outdoor person, the Bay and California in general is going to be for you. Like it's going to be for you. But like if the weather does not affect you, or if you're not a huge outdoor person, I don't feel like you're gonna like California, to be honest. Like the weather does affect me. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't experience seasonal depression back home, but I am not like an outdoorsy person. I've gone to Yosemite, I go to LA, I've been to San Diego. I've been to a lot of places in California. My favorite part about living here is the mall. That's 10 minutes from my house. That's freaking huge. And I feel like if you're living in California, your favorite part of living out here should not be the mall. Like that should not be the selling point for you. But I will say I have never experienced this type of great weather year round. I've never been able to just go to the beach in January. I've never been able to go to the beach on a random Tuesday when I wanted to, you know? Or like go to the mountains or go to the desert all within like driving in the same day. I can go to the beach, snowboarding, to the desert, to the mountains, all within one day. So if you are an outdoor person and you move out to California, I would say make a list of all the cool places you want to go and start knocking them off. I feel like since I've been out here, last year I've explored so many places that I didn't even know Yosemite was in California before I moved out here. Granted, like I said, I'm not an outdoors person, but once I learned that it was out here, I was like, okay, why not? Like, I'm never gonna get this experience again, why not? I'm trying to think, what do I wanna do next? I think I'm gonna set my face. Okay, the next question says, what's your favorite thing about yourself? Aw, I like this one. I would say my favorite thing about myself is the fact that I don't rely on other people for like emotional support. I know that's a very weird thing to say. Like a lot of people be like, oh, my humor, or I'm so nice to people, I'm so empathetic, da, da, da. No, I am not someone that when I'm down, I look to other people to like make me feel better. If anything, it kind of makes me uncomfortable. Like, you know, like when you're sharing what you're going through and people try to comfort you and it instantly is supposed to make you feel better, that makes me feel like a little bit weird because I wasn't coming to you because I needed to feel better. I was just telling you what I was going through. And I feel like it sounds very strong-willed, but like when things go wrong, especially like experiencing this while having what I'm currently going through, like my health issues, I feel like I'm able to make myself feel better, and it is a very underrated quality. Knowing what I need when I need it and being able to like cheer myself up or say, hey, I need to cry right now, and being able to be like, okay, you're gonna read this book, you're gonna watch this movie, and you're gonna cry because that's what you need. I'm able to like handle my emotions very well. I will say when things hit the fan and like I do outwardly express my emotions, it's usually very, very big. Like the world is ending, but that happens so seldomly that it's like not even really an issue. I don't remember the last time that that's happened to me, honestly. Actually, I can, and I know the exact situation of when it happened, and it's been like 2 years since that happened. But I would say that's definitely my favorite quality about myself. I don't know if that's an acceptable one, but that's the one I'm going with. Okay, let's get into these brows because I'm tired of them looking the way that they do. Let's see, next question is, what is one thing you would tell your younger self? Ooh, I think the one thing I would tell my younger self is to keep going the way that you're going. I feel like growing up, even in high school, even in college, like my younger self is any age before the one right now. I know what the question means, but like, technically that is true. I would say I got a lot of like, I don't want to say the word is hate, but like a lot of people didn't understand why I was such a planner. I used to plan everything. I used to plan what I wanted to be when I grew up, what I wanted my GPA to be, where I wanted to go to college, what internship I wanted, where I wanted to live after graduation, what kind of boyfriend I wanted. I used to plan everything, and everything was on like a time frame, and not necessarily in a like, I have to get married by this age kind of thing, but just like, these are my goals, and this is what I have to do to get there. So for instance, something you guys might remember is on TikTok, my first couple of videos on TikTok were about how to pay off your student loans. I had a very specific date for that. I wanted to pay off my student loans by the beginning of 2024. Honestly, I think it was by the end of 2023, but it ended up being the beginning of 2024. I was very set on it. I was very adamant on it. And I've just always been like, set a date, this is the goal. And a lot of my friends just did not understand that. A lot of my friends were moving into new apartments, going out all the time. And mind you, I did have my phases of going out, but I would say no to trips. I would say no to like shopping. I had myself on a very strict like $200 budget after I graduated from college. I had a new job, y'all. I was making good money. All my friends were like, you can spend your money. And I was just like, no, this is my goal. This is what I want. I feel like I am very disciplined in the things that I want, and a lot of people are not. And they kind of harp on you and they're like, YOLO, and you should be free, and you don't even know if you're gonna make it to tomorrow, and you should just live your life. That's not my vibe. I'm so sorry, that's not my vibe. And I feel like on some hand, I do feel like I missed out on having fun experiences. For instance, I passed on going to an HBCU with a partial athletic scholarship for a full ride, full tuition at a very like 3,000 people white school in the middle of nowhere. And most people would be like, why wouldn't you go with the HBCU? Like, that's such a cool experience. And sometimes I do regret it, like not having that experience and not growing up or having like any peers in college that were Black. But I also knew that my goal was to graduate college debt free. Like, I knew that's what I wanted. I had a lot of friends at the time who probably would have made a very different decision than I would have, just because it's like an HBCU, it's kind of lit, it's fun, you have all of these cultural experiences, which I do get have their benefits, and sometimes I miss the fact that I didn't have those experiences. I will 100% say that sometimes I think about the fact that I could have, should have went to an HBCU, but then I also think about the fact that I have no college debt. I had no undergraduate debt at all. Like, once I make up a plan to say, oh, this is what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do it. So I would probably tell my younger self to keep trusting her gut. Like, your gut is never wrong. Your intuition, this is for everybody. Your intuition is never wrong. Ever, never, ever, never, never. Your intuition is never freaking wrong. The decisions that Mariah made at 10, 12, 18, 21, 22 were the best decisions for Mariah now. And I stand by that. Okay, the next question is, how did your creator journey start? Okay, I love talking about this. I love talking about this. So believe it or not, I was a TikTok hater. I remember when my best friend got on TikTok and she was showing me all the TikToks of like Addison Rae and like Charli D'Amelio, and I was just like, this is dumb. This whole thing is dumb. I can't lie. Like, this is a dumb app and this is for kids. I was a TikTok hater up until the point where I saw Monet McMichael post a get ready with me on TikTok. Oh my gosh. I had never seen anyone on TikTok who looked my complexion, who was like a brown skinned black girl, posting content that I was interested in and like doing well. So in, what year was that? 2022, I started posting on TikTok like as a fun, I was going through a lot at the time, and not in a bad way. I was just in a long distance relationship. I was paying off my student loans. I had just graduated from college. I was living at home with my parents. I had just became an AKA. Like, I just had a lot going on in my life at the time. And I was like, oh, this would be fun to just document. So I started making videos. I started making content not really as a joke, but just kind of trying to see where it could take me. I always said if there was a short form version of YouTube, I was gonna try it. TikTok came around and I was like, that's weird. I don't know why I thought that, but like, I was turned off of TikTok, to be honest. So I started posting videos on TikTok just to see what would happen. And I was posting for a few months. I was growing pretty steadily, had a few brand deals here and there, didn't think anything of it. And then I started posting hair videos. So I remember I got these box braids before I went on a trip. Me and my best friend were going on a cruise for our birthdays, December of 2022. And I started posting hair videos. I had like 4 go up in a matter of a week and didn't think anything of it. Those videos, every single one was like million, 3 million, 2 million, 1 million, back to back to back to back to back. So I was like, oh, hair content is my thing, which I love. Like, I love hair content. Oh my God. And those videos just started doing extremely well. Like, I remember we were on the cruise and I had gone from like 3K to 10K in like a month. And then by the time January came around, I had gone from like 10K to 50K. All off of these like 5 hair videos that I just happened to post and didn't think anything of while I went on this cruise. Shortly after that, I saw that Monet had gone to New York Fashion Week with Kensington Gray, and at the time I didn't really know what Kensington Gray was, but I knew Monet was at Fashion Week with them. So I followed them on Instagram, didn't think anything of it, and then Shanae followed me back, and then everything kind of went from there, and I got signed with them May, I think, of 2023, and I've been with them ever since. The next question is also related to content and says, what inspired you to pursue content full-time and how did you know you were ready? This is a good question. Pursue content full-time, I think after a certain amount of time when you're a creator and you're doing well and your videos are doing well, you kind of come to the conclusion that you have the potential to make a lot of money doing something that is genuinely like a hobby. Once I came to the conclusion like, oh, I can actually make money, this lash has to be an extra long. Like, this is in the wrong section. So once I got signed to Kensington Gray, and even a little bit before this, I always kind of knew it was like the end goal for me, or at least the goal for me was to eventually be able to quit my 9-to-5. Mind you, I loved my 9-to-5. I worked in a marketing agency in downtown Indianapolis and I loved it. Like, even after I was making good money, I still worked at that marketing agency. I worked at that marketing agency until I moved to California. And even then was like, do I really have to quit? Like, do I really want to quit? Because I loved that job. But I feel like at a certain point, it's like, what are we doing? You're overworked, you're tired because you're working a 9-to-5, and then afterwards you're trying to film videos and respond to comments and go on brand trips and you have to say no. And like, all of it just for me personally was just like, what is my goal? And I finally came to the conclusion, you can always get a 9-to-5. Like, you have a bachelor's degree, you have a MBA, you have work experience. If you ever, or if this content thing does not work out, you can always go back and get a job. Like, a job, a 9-to-5 is always going to be there, especially in marketing. So once I had enough money saved up, I think I saved up like 10K. I just wanted to make sure I had enough money to get through a few months if I wasn't making money doing content, or if something happened, if it just didn't pan out the way that I wanted it to. I had enough money saved up, I quit my job. I gave them like a 30-day notice. I gave them a lot of notice just because I love the company, and even to this day, I talked to everyone at the company and they're like, if you ever want to come back, let us know. Like, okay, my battery died. That was annoying. But what I was basically saying was like, you might have a time frame, you might have a follower count, you might have a certain amount of money that you want to make before you quit your 9-to-5 job or pursue content full time. Only you will know when like that time is right. People could tell you, oh, you're gonna make good money, you have a certain amount of following. You know how much you spend. Like, I probably could have quit my job a lot sooner than I did, but I also knew what was comfortable for me. Like, I didn't want to be living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't want to be like having months where I was receiving no income. Like, that's just not what I wanted. I will say, when I did quit my 9-to-5, I don't necessarily feel like I should have stayed longer. I do feel like I wasn't prepared. Like, this is one of those things. People tell you, but until you experience it for yourself, you just, you know, I wasn't prepared for the months that you really do not get paid. Like, you can get paid an extensive amount in January, not have any new money coming in till like April. And I feel like, yes, the money is good, but there is something to be said about a consistent salary paycheck. Like, salary. Whereas with content, you never know when you're gonna get paid. Brands might pay you late, like things fall through, brands go bankrupt, whatever the case is, like, you just never really know. And I wasn't as prepared. I don't think anybody can prepare you for that, honestly. That's just something that just comes with it. I think all I have to do now is my lips. I'm going for a very like light, pretty makeup because the dress, you guys, the dress is insane. So I don't want to do too much on the lips. I think I'm just gonna do like a very neutral lip liner with a cute pink lip gloss. Yeah, this is in the shade Browned Out. This is the Fenty lip liner. And then I'm gonna do this Fenty lip gloss in the shade Hot Cherry. It's this like very bright pink color. It's so pretty. Finish this off with a little bit of setting spray. Let's see what the hair is giving. You guys, I love my hair like this. I just bought this waver from Ulta. It's the Bedhead waver by Tigi. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with my hair like this. I feel like I'm gonna start wearing my hair like this a lot more often. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this Kerastase hair oil just to make sure that the hair is blended. I don't want anything to look dry. I want it all to look the same kind of complexion in the pictures. Because I don't think I've said it yet, but I did hire my friend. He's a videographer, photographer. He's gonna meet me at the event and we're gonna shoot some content together. So like, I wanna make sure that everything just has to give. Like, everything has to give. Okay, I think I'm ready. The makeup turned out cute. The hair looks cute. The outfit is banging. I know the outfit is banging. So I'm gonna get dressed and then I will show you guys once the whole look is complete. Okay, you guys, hair, makeup, and outfit came out so freaking good. Wait, let me get my clutch so you can see the full picture. Would you believe that this is from Amazon? Like, this is from Amazon. This is so cute. I'm gonna give you guys a quick little outfit of the day too, because why not? The dress is from ASOS. Like I said, the clutch and then these earrings are from Amazon. Then I have on these gold heels. These are from Steve Madden. For fragrances, I'm wearing Rosie Jane in Dolce and then Brown Girl Jane in Casino. These are very like chocolatey, warm fragrances. I love them for the nighttime. So we're about to head out to dinner. I have to drive up to the city to meet the Kayali team for dinner. I'm so freaking excited. This is like my first real like brand dinner in the Bay Area. I'm excited. I'm sweating my ass off though. Like, I have on this Skim shapewear underneath just because this dress doesn't really like help my boobs in the way that I need it to. But I really hope you guys like the Q&A portion of this video. If you want to stick around and come to dinner with me, feel free, obviously. Let's go to dinner.
We have some people in the room who know what scent mat is, so we've got to keep it on the low low. Okay. But do you want to explain what our scent mat is about?
Of course. So today we're going to be smelling 6 ingredients. There are keynotes that are in this fragrance. So you're going to smell them individually, so you can really start to point out when you smell those notes in other fragrances, and especially in this one.
I just wanted to say thank you so much again. I know I kind of gave a short little speech back at the scent mat, but now that I've had some time to spend with each of you and the team has spent some quality time with each of you, I have to say, like, this means so much. I mean, I've heard and speaking to some of you that, you know, San Francisco doesn't get a lot of love when it comes to events and brands really like paying attention to the creators that are in these spaces and places, and it's really been an honor for us to engage with you guys. Some new faces, some old faces, some OG fans. This has really been special for us, and I hope that we've made somewhat of an impact on you and kind of helped spark a love for fragrance, or at least kept that spark going. This is really probably the most favorite part of my job, is being able to sit down and break bread with the people who actually help build on the storytelling of not just our brand, but just spreading the love of fragrance in general. So I want you guys to know that what you've learned today, I hope you take that and empower the people in your community and loved ones. And hopefully the world will be a better smelling place.